What's up, fellas? Back at it again. So, oh, it's actually a nice day out there. I ain't looked out there all day. Alright, anyway, we're back at it again, guys. Everything is wet sanded and ready to go. So, as of right now, I gotta spit some sealer on this thing. Tailgate, ready to go. I'm gonna paint the backside, of course, like we did the rest of the truck. Inner fender wells, inside of the front pan, backside of the cowl, underneath the hood latch, underneath the hood. All this stuff right now, guys, is gonna get sprayed. I'm gonna spray those parts when I do the firewall. That way I can put those back on afterward and start assembling this thing so I can paint it together. I'm gonna assemble it and paint the hood and everything together. So as of right now, everything that needs paint inside and out and around is what's getting it painted. So I'm gonna spit a little bit of paint on these things and we should be done. So let me set you guys up on here and we'll go from there. So let's rock. Tailgate ain't ready. I don't know what the hell is on that thing, but it keeps getting all these little pinholes, and I honestly think it's overspray, and I keep wet sanding it. I'm gonna let that dry, then I'm gonna wet sand it again, and then reseal it. So on that note, all of this stuff's ready to go. So we're gonna paint that. I'm sick and tired of that freaking tailgate. It's the third time I've done that. What it is, guys, I think it's overspray from the look, I don't even know if you can see it. Yeah, see it? It's like almost like sand, and it's all in here. It's all over now. Yeah. Everything else is cherry, dude, but I don't know what that is. I saw it earlier when I was here. You know what? It might just be, I don't know. What's weird is I wax and grease removed it. I wet sanded it several times. I scuff padded it, still doing it. It's not fisheye. It's not solvent pot. So I'm just gonna have to feel it with my hand and make sure it's smooth. I guess I should have done it. I felt like it looked good, but kind of went over a little quick. I guess it wasn't good enough. I am gonna let this air out, close the shop real quick, and then I am going to head out and do some stuff with my family for once. Cody, out. Man, you open the door. Give an inch, take a mile. Out, both y'all, get out. Go on, shoot. So, anyway guys, that's it. That's a wrap. Now that this is done, when I get home later on this evening, what I'm going to do is move this stuff out of my way, pull the truck in, and we're going to start on the truck. So, once we get the truck, I want to just go through and make sure that I go over it real good with 600, the whole thing. And then maybe tomorrow or sometime this week, I will start spinning some paint on that. So we're almost there, guys. It's just been a very long process. This one, for some reason, I don't know why or what it was, but it just gave me a very hard time. I've never had a car fight me so bad for paint. Usually you sand it, it's good. This one I've sanded it 20 times and it still finds something wrong. So, I don't know. Who knows? But either way, it's getting done. And it's gonna look nice, and we'll move on with life. Sometimes things just happen. It takes what it takes. I went from saying I could do this in 3 months to I'm about 7-8 months now. But that ain't my fault, honestly. Some of it is, but some of it was the issues that I had with the truck in general. So, but it is what it is, and it's got to be done, right? You know, it's got to be done. It's got to be at least to a certain standard. You know, can't be perfect, because perfect costs a lot of money. But either way, I think we're doing a fair job, and I think we're doing a good job, and we'll go from there. So, catch you tomorrow. guys, that was round 2 of the clear. That's what that means. I'm not throwing up gang signs. Well, nah, I'm just kidding. Nah, anyways, that's what I mean. I'm trying to talk painting sign language here. Round 1 clear, round 2 clear, round 3, you get the hint, right? Can't talk with this mask on, but I'm trying to get my booth working out here. It's working out good now. I had to move some fans around, but now that I'm in here and I see how this thing works, how it's fluctuating in here with the clear, I mean with the overspray, what I'm gonna do, I've been planning with this whole situation because it looks like shit. So let me actually hold on a minute before I go any further. I gotta let this dry, but I have to keep putting my fan out, and then I close the door without trying to create too much movement so I don't kick up a lot of dust. And then I'll kick this puppy on now that the I turn this fan here on low, and then I kick this fan back off, turn that fan. We'll kick it off for now. All that overspray is pretty much gone. So let me turn this thing on. This thing gets loud, but we'll go to the other side. We're gonna kick that on and let it warm up in here. That seems to be working really well. So let this dry. Look at that, boys. Look at that dance. It's like the A-team at the strip club. Bouncing the big old juicy one, huh? All glitter, coming home smelling like watermelon and vanilla. I'm just kidding. I'm gonna get spanked for that one. So anyway, guys, so I've been messing with this booth. Every time I spray, I try something a little different. But what I'm gonna do is I finally figured out exactly what I'm gonna do, and I think it's gonna work. It'll make me happy, and all this won't look like shit. And it'll be very simple for me to open and close this without having to take all this plastic down and all this crap, right? So here's what I'm gonna do. Hold on, I got overspray on my camera. Damn it. Okay. Right here on this wall, I'm gonna build a small little wall right there, of course. And that little wall is probably gonna be maybe four foot, maybe a little less. I guess what I'm saying is it's probably gonna be as wide as this glass cabinet. So there's gonna be a wall there. So it's probably about 8 foot. It's gonna probably be about as wide as like a sheet of plywood. You know, not the length of it, but the width of it. Actually, it's gonna be exactly the sheet of a plywood because I have an idea. So what I'm gonna do is build a four foot wall, 4 foot wide wall, and it's probably gonna go up about 8 foot tall. Okay, these are 9 foot ceilings. So if I go 8 foot, right, then I'm gonna build a border across this whole thing here. And then I'm gonna build another wall as wide, right where that one's at, pretty much, right at the end of my paint table, okay? So from that point, that will be sealed, okay? The border on top will be exactly 1 foot, take or give, depending on the bottom piece, because it's gonna need a little bit of a gap to open and close. And I'll get to that part. But what I'm planning on doing, and the reason why I wanna build it 4 foot wide, for one, it blocks all this junk here, for one. 2, I'm gonna build 3 or 4, depending how long it takes to get to that point. From that point, tri-folding doors. Quad fold, I don't know. However many I need to build exactly at 8 foot or 8 foot tall, 4 foot wide panels. And they're gonna close all the way to this. And the last door, the last panel door, will be my in and out door that I go in and out of the booth in, okay? So that panel, the last panel door, is gonna have a window on it. So not only am I gonna build these panels that fold, the top is gonna have that brush guard stuff, like the little whiskers that you put on inside doors, like the little brushes on the bottom of the doors to hold like stuff floating in or whatever, but it kind of drags on the floor. I don't know what the hell they call those, but either way, that's what I'm going to put on the top and on the bottom. So when I open and close these doors, it somewhat seals the dust from going under or over, okay? So as I open and close these doors, one at a time, every one of them is going to have a pin that will go up and lock in to the border wall on the top, and a pin on the floor, one or the other, I'm not sure, most likely on the floor so I can reach them. But you open it, pin it, close, open another one, pin it, open it, pin it, and the last one will be a swinging one, which will have a door handle on it for here, so I can open and close it to go in the booth, right? The nice thing is if I want to leave it open, I just fold it, will completely open. That right there will be perfect. So what I want to do on both sides of it is I'm going to put this brick wall stuff on it for looks, just because I think it's going to look cool. I'm going to put the brick layout on one side and the brick layout on the other side. I may put a big window in the center here and maybe one on the door. I'll find just a plexiglass window, simple little window so I can just look in there. But for one, that's going to hold the heat in there, for one. And two, it'll be simple. Thank you. That thing has a thermostat on it. I love it because it turns off on its own. But the nice thing is every time, like if I want to just open this up real quick, this is a pain in the ass to take down. So now I just plop, 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 and they all fold down in, and they'll fold in right behind or in front of that wall. That's why I want to build it the same width and the same height. So it just goes back to looking like that same little brick wall out of nowhere, right? And then it doop, 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 out, and then now it's one big long brick wall with a little window on it on both sides, which is cool. So that's this part, all right? The other part is up here on the top, the border. So the border itself, I am gonna put, let me show you. I want to buy probably, so that up there, the border is going to be 1 foot. So I want to buy some type of fans like this. Hopefully I can get one of these little fans to fit on that. If not, I might have to make it a little wider, a little longer on the top, and then I'll have to, of course, shorten the doors and cut the tops off of this stuff to, of course, accommodate. But that's fine. You know, I'm going to build the whole structure first and then build the doors to the structure so I can make sure that these fans, yeah, check them out. Well, I don't know if I'll use this one. I use this one for my air compressor room. That's my air compressor room. But yeah, so anyways, that's what I plan on getting. Probably 3 of those, and I want to mount all 3 of them up here. I want to mount one about right here, kind of where the garage door is at, one like right here, and then one in the center, and then one on the same, about the same distance for the garage door over here. Okay, that'll be in my border wall on the top. That there is going to suck the fresh air from in this side, on this side, and push it through the booth like a cross draft. And then of course on that side, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna build me a box that goes, when I open my garage door, the box goes across the bottom of it and it'll seal off the bottom of it, and then I can put that big round fan right in the middle. So this stuff just goes straight across and whoosh, gets sucked right out from that big fan. That seems to be how it's been taking this overspray out the quickest for me. And I think that's going to be the best bet for those fans, to put them up high, because of course all the overspray rises. So I want all these fans here, I might even slightly tilt them down, but I want them to push the air like at an angle downward, all this overspray down, so when it gets to that end, that fan just sucks it right out. I'm gonna try that and see how that works out for me for now. It's not like I paint a lot. I really don't paint too much. I do paint, of course, but most of my work here is I'm always welding or fabricating or body working. And you know what, like, I paint at the end, and it takes me many months to start painting again. So I spend, you know, I paint maybe once or twice a year. You know what I mean? So it's not a big deal, but the big deal to me is that I need to get that overspray out of here, because the longer it lingers, then you get a haze. And then, of course, I always color, sand, and buff anyway, but still, you know, sometimes you want those jobs where you're just bam, bam, 3 coats, out the gun, it's gone. I lay out my clear really nice. Half the time you don't even need to color, sand, and buff it. Honestly, it looks cherry. But then again, when you want that show look, you gotta color, sand, and buff it. You know, like Rick's car, that thing straight out the gun, it doesn't even need to be color, sand, and buffed, but we're gonna do it anyway just to get that depth, you know. I feel bad because I haven't been able to do it for him, but I've just been so busy. This truck's just taken so much of my time, you know. So with all that being said, I think it's time for round 3. I'm gonna kick that heater on and let it cook a little bit in here, a little longer, and then I'm gonna mix up a little bit more clear, open shit up, and we're gonna go to town on round 3, okay? I'll hit you up here in a minute. Alright guys, so we're at it. This morning I came in here, sanded it, I resealed it, it came out acceptable. So here we are, we're resealed all the way through the jambs, everything around inside the cab, everything's ready to go. Some of the parts over here were already re-sanded, resealed. Those 3 pieces there, I already mixed the paint, we're going at it. So I'm gonna set you guys up now, and we're gonna start spraying this sand dune. Couple coats of sand dune, and then from there we're gonna throw some clear, and we're gonna let this thing sit so I can start cleaning up shop, because I want to watch Jake Paul get his ass whooped tonight, and we're gonna watch it here in the shop. So trying to find a good spot for you guys. The freaks come out at night. How about right there? All right, fellas, all right. Here it is, boys. I laid out that rocker top and all the jam. Came out all chingón, ese. Came out really good. I just dusted paint on here. I just put some color on it. It's not gonna matter. You can't see that shit anyway. But here it is, watch. Look at that. Boom. Firewall's ready to roll. Everything looks good. Finally, boys, finally got this tailgate cleaned up and sanded and painted, and it laid out wicked, dude. Look at this. I'm excited. It came out very good. It came out better than I thought it was, to be honest with you. Look at that, guys. Yep. So there we are. So I'm taking off the tape now, and then I'm gonna go ahead and start bolting my fenders on, the hood, all the panels, everything I need to put in there. It's all going on. It's funny that this thing it's probably gonna be done right before Thanksgiving, so I'm gonna call this truck the Turkey. This is the Wild Turkey. We're gonna call this truck the Wild Turkey, bro. That's what I'm gonna name it. It's a 2-time yellow turkey. No, 2-time wild turkey. Yeah, because everything I had to do on this truck was twice. And then, of course, it's the Thanksgiving colors. And to top it off, it's Thanksgiving. So I'm going to just give him this 2-time stuffed wild turkey. 2-time stuffed wild turkey. That's the name of this truck. I had to blend it all in. I try to name every vehicle I do by the problems it gives me or just certain things, you know. But this is funny. But I'm happy. It's coming out really good. I mean, there's the flaws, of course, but they're not bad, and they're really nothing you're ever gonna see unless you're me and you know what it is. But other than that, it's clean. Clean. I'm pumped. But all right, fellas, so I'm gonna keep on working. I gotta bolt this fender up front, finish unmasking, do my thing, and I will hit you guys up here when I get this thing all bolted together. Before I paint it, you are gonna come with me and we're gonna paint this whole damn truck. And then you can be with me while I put it together. All right, I'll see you in a minute. Peace. Well, fellas, it is the next day. So, I got this thing all sprayed out. It came out really nice. It came out really, really, really nice. But, I got a few light spots in it that I don't like. And I ran out of paint. Yeah. I do got a little bit of overspray in the jambs I need to touch up. Ran out of paint. So I ordered some more paint. I'm gonna have to wet sand this puppy and do it again. The two-timing turkey, telling you. But other than that, I mean, she's pretty. It came out really good. I'm happy with it. Other than if I had one more cup of paint, I'd have been perfectly fine. I literally had the paint gallon with reducer, and I was swishing it around in there, just trying to get enough color to do these last spots, and it just wouldn't do it. It was too thin. So here we go. This is real light in these little corners in here. Just this little section is real light because I didn't want to blast too much paint on it. I should have used that paint to do this, and I would have been fine. But this whole thing is really light back here, except for that bar. But what I'm going to do is wet sand it with probably 800 or 1000, and then I'm going to go ahead and just do another 2 coats on it. Honestly, what I think I'm going to do is I might just recoat the bed too, because I don't know if it's going to come out darker. It shouldn't, but I don't know. We'll find out. But down here is where you have that light spot. There's a streak right here. And I got all the way down underneath too. So I don't know how in the hell, but it did it on both sides. And there's a light streak right here. I'd like to push it outside and look at it, but yeah. Other than that, there was a little bit of a light spot here. I was able to kind of dust it in a little bit, but I don't know if it... Yeah, kinda. I don't know. Yeah, I guess it filled it. But yeah. So the one problem that I had, other than I'm short on paint, yeah, see it's light down here, and then the hose hit right there and there. So that's another issue. But right here, guys, I had a damn runner, and it was in my sealer, and I was already up to here painting, and I had to stop, and I had to wait for this to dry, and I tried to fix it, and it just looks like shit. So I gotta fix that. There is one big scratch right here that my light on my camera died. There's one big scratch right here somewhere. Right there. I don't even know if you can see it, but it's right here. It's almost like something gouged it right there, and I didn't see it. And I got a little pinhole here. Yeah, see, it's real light right there. Yeah, just one good flow coat on this thing, just like a drop coat, will fix this. But I want to go ahead and resand it with 800, and then I'm going to go over it probably with one coat and then a quick drop coat, and it'll be done. Sucks though that I have to remask everything again, all the jambs and everything, but it is what it is. Yeah, see, I got overspray. Some of this comes off with some prep spray, but I'm just gonna dust a little bit of the color in there. I'll have to scuff it again though before I do it. But that's it, guys. Other than a few little touch-ups, that's where we're at. It came out so nice, dude. I mean, if I'd have had one more cup of paint, I'd have been good. I think I screwed myself. Hold on a second. I think I screwed myself when I sprayed that bed with the paint, because that took my 2 cups. Took like 2.5 cups for that Raptor liner. Also, I gotta get in here and dust these out again, because they got dirty. But yeah, see, like up here, I still need to get a little paint on this bar, both bars. Up in there, I got a little paint in there, but not as much as I wanted. I was able to paint all in here. Did I overspray these a little bit? Not really, not too bad. Not enough, I can't just wax them. They're cleared. Yeah, I took the radiator support out. Crazy thing is that radiator support, it doesn't hold anything. It doesn't do anything for this front clip. It's weird. All it does is the 2 brackets right here is all it holds this fender. So I took it out so I wouldn't have to mask it, and so I can get around things. So I'm gonna go ahead and probably put that back in this next round. But yeah, dude, this thing came out bad, bro. There's a little bit of striping on the hood, and I got that because I had put a hot shot in mine with a little bit more reducer, of course, to do that drop coat, and it didn't work out. So this is a little light, and then I got a couple. I was just kind of going over it real fast, like a drop coat, and I tiger striped the top. But all that'll get worked out on this next one. Now that I know I'll have enough paint, I just ordered another gallon. It cost me another $300, 350 bucks. But the cool thing is that I'll spray it out completely. I might even just spray it out with the bed on it. That way, just wet down the bed and respray the bed too, just in case it changes color. That way everything matches. And then the extra paint that I have, I'll just paint some stuff. I've been wanting to paint my metal brake. I'll paint that thing with this gold. Would look cool. And then probably these shelves here, I might paint this shelf, that. I'll leave my toolbox black, but I'll paint that one maybe that one. You know, maybe I'll even paint that freaking whatever, you know. I'll just paint shit just to paint it, but like I ever have time, right? So anyway, yeah, that's where we're at. So I guess we'll have to do this again.